Hi, this is Diane again, and this is take three on, not take three, but part three of my videos on grief here for YouTube. Well, the first video that I did was on the passing of my brother and my father in 2019. The second one was about my friend Andy and my friend that I met here in Modesto. Oh, I can't even think of her name right now. But anyway, July 17th, my mother passed away. And on a Tuesday, I was on my way to Lathrop to see my doctor. And I had just was a few miles away from the doctor's office, and I called my mom and I said, "Hey Mom, I'm about to arrive at the doctor's office. As soon as I finish there, I'm on my way home, and we'll figure out what we want to eat after when I'm finished." And she said, "Okay." And she sounded kind of tired, and I thought to myself, well, that was a very low energy phone call. I didn't think of another thing about it, except that it was awfully low energy on my mom's part. Anyway, it was a quick phone call, and I just let her go. And I went into the doctor's office. I was getting weighed and talking to the doctor, and all of a sudden Mary Jane calls, and I happened to answer the phone, and she said, "Hey, your mom just fell, and I don't know if I should call the doctor or if I should take her call an ambulance or what I should do." And she said, and I heard my mom, "You don't have to call anyone. It's okay. I'm going to be fine." And then I said, "What happened?" She said she fell. I came into the kitchen and she was on the floor. And I said, "Just call the ambulance. I'm on my way home. Or I'll meet you at the hospital." So it was 2:30 in the afternoon, and traffic on Highway 99 is crazy. And I had to make it to doctor's hospital. 40 minutes. It took me about 45 minutes to get there. And they had anyway, I met AJ outside, and my mom had had a cerebral hemorrhage, like a major, massive stroke. And they showed us the x-rays of her brain and the blood clot, and that was, going all over the place. And there was nothing that they could do for my mom. Nothing that was going to bring her back to being a regular person again. So I was there with my brother Jerry, my Aunt Norma, AJ, who is my mom's adopted grandson. I was scheduled to start work July 16th on a Wednesday. And I went in and I said, my mom is not going to make it. Man, probably not going to make it. Anyway, she was on all the machines to keep her alive, and they said there was nothing that they could do, and it was a matter of time, and I just needed to decide when it was time to take her off the machines. And I consulted with my brother, and he said, just make a choice, make a decision. So at 3 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon, 3 o'clock Wednesday afternoon on the 16th, we turned off the machines, and there were lots of people around. AJ and his wife Laura and their kids and other people, Alice and Alicia and other people, and Mary Jane. And so I thought I would turn on music when they took the machine off. So I got my phone and I turned on Pandora. I put on the music that my mom and I listened to whenever we would make salsa together. You know, it takes hours to do the chopping and the roasting of the peppers. And so we would always listen to Jorge Negrete and Pedro Infante, and my favorite, Javier Solis. When you lose your mother, that's it. In this lifetime, you lose the person that is your biggest fan. So, different grief is grief is the same for every, you know, when someone dies, grief is the same. You just and just like all the books tell you, you know, grief is something that is now going to be part of your life forever, and it doesn't get any better, but you just learn to live with it. And that's what I've learned to do with all of the grief. You know, divorce, there's grief, a loss of a boyfriend, you know, breakups with friends. It's all grief, you know, and you just learn to live with it and how you handle it. You know, I've used booze, drugs, for my divorce, you know, booze and drugs. I did that for a little while. But now that I'm more mature, more or less, in my 50s and 60s, 67, you learn that your time is close as well. So live your life. Live your life accordingly. You know, live your life how you want it to be. But it's not easy. Grief is not easy. It's just never easy.